You must use the wisdom that your experience is paid for. You have to do it, even if it hurts. You have to do it. When you learn the lessons, you have to live the learned part of the lessons. And this is hard, man. Like this stuff is the shoulders of every man, that's going through something, and say, this too is a part of it, bro. Like this is, this thing you feeling right now, this angst, this all of it. It may be the most normal thing between living and dying.
Well, then let's start with accountability. I hear it pop up in a bunch of conversations. There's a lot of different perspectives and contexts that come with what does it look like? Why is it important? So in your life, where have you seen it pop up and why is it an important value for you?
Everywhere. Listen, when we get done, so I'm training for a marathon again. And when I get off of here, I'm going to go run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go run. I'm just going to flat tell you, I don't want to. It's not something I want to do. It's getting kind of cold out. Might be a little rainy today. It's just not what I want to do. And so my brain is searching for every reason that would make sense for me not to do it. Right? It's checking my physical, it's checking my emotional. I keep glancing outside. I'm doing all of these things when I know at the end of the day I'm gonna run. Right? So what it does is it creates a narrative in me. And it says to me, man, you've been doing good all week. You don't need to go out there and run today. Or I tell you what, today just run 2 hours instead of 3. All of these things, there's this little victim voice that pops up in my head that tells me something is wrong. And the truth of the matter is that I'm going to do it because I don't like how it feels if I don't do it more. Right? Like that voice is going to win. It's going to win. It's going to say that. And so, but there was a time when I would allow that other voice to win until I took accountability for it, until I realized what was really going on. And what was really going on was that there was a place I wanted to go, and I was bumping up against my comfort zone in order to get there. And I don't like my comfort zone bumped up against. But what is it about your comfort zone you don't like bumped up against? You see, like it goes deeper. It's mm-hmm. not about the run. It's about how I handle myself in situations that make me uncomfortable. Mm. And so the first thing I have to do in accountability is realize that conversation is going on, and that conversation is hurtful to me. And then I'd say, well, you didn't grow up around people that taught you those things. What's the big deal anyway? You're in shape. It never stops, dude. It never stops. Sometimes and listen, I've been training like this for the past few years. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I don't feel like running tomorrow. I don't want to do it. And I'm searching for every reason to not do it. That's just one example, in my life, how I'm dealing with that in real time right now. Mm-hmm. That's why I brought it up. I'm searching for a job. I've been self-employed for like 20 years, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm tired of chasing a dollar every day. Like I'm tired, man. I've gotten older now. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired of it. It's the bills are paid. It's not like they're not paid. They are, but have mercy, dude. It's the music business as a business has consolidated in such a way that makes it not possible for me to earn the way that I used to. And here I am, instead of me just pivoting and adjusting to do it, part of me wants to cut and run and go do something else, right? Why do I want to do that? Well, the truth of the matter is, man, I feel kind of defeated. You see,
Yeah.
that's what's going on here. You know,
Hmm.
it's not anything else except, man, I feel kind of defeated. You know,
Hmm.
haven't you learned anything over the past 20 years? Yeah, I know. I got to keep swinging. I got to try. You know, I know the things to do, and knowing the things to do and ruminating on them is the accountability. You see what I mean? It's not the music business's fault that it changed. Things change, bro. Like they just do. But I could sit here all day and say, man, these people ain't paying anymore. The internet messed everything. I could go on and on and on and on and on. But really the true issue here is that I don't want to pivot anymore. I'm a little baby saying, I'm tired of changing. I want things to just work my way. Why won't they just work? They never worked my way. Like it was never that. I was always entering traffic that was going already. I was always on an on ramp. Music business been going way before I got here, and it's gonna be going way after I get here. Either I'm gonna learn how to drive in traffic or not. You know, so
Yeah, I
hopefully
love
that
that
made sense.
analogy.
It's
I love
like,
that analogy of like
yeah.
it's the traffic is always moving, it's always changing. And even if you find a good lane, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna go away in the change. And
It's
in
gonna
a
go
bad
away.
stuck traffic lane, also gonna go away and change, and it's always moving. Um, how did you get to the point where you were kind of seeing accountability as like this conversation of like I have this path where I avoid the hard thing and I just listen to the voice and I don't go do the hard thing. I don't keep pushing. Versus like I see this hard thing, that's the path I want to take. I don't it doesn't feel good, but I'm gonna go after and push through anyways. How did you get to the realization that like the hard thing that doesn't feel good oftentimes is the right path and I'm just gonna keep pushing?
Easy, heartbreak. So I finally got my heart broke. And the feeling was so intense, it dominated, it permeated every part of who I am. And when I stopped, when I finally looked up and I turned around, I realized that I had broken a lot of hearts myself. And I was appalled at the idea that I had made other people feel this way. I just did not know what I did. And but these people are long gone. This is like years ago.
Hmm.
And I thought I apologized, but nah, I didn't really apologize. That was crazy. I saw the women, I saw the children, you know, that weren't even mine. I saw old family members and old in-laws and structures all broken down because I was being a coward. Like I learned that so like when I was in grade school, I really couldn't get women. Like I wasn't one of the popular guys or anything like that. But when I joined the military and I kind of grew up and started to get myself together, um, I didn't have a problem dealing with women, you know, and so I enjoyed myself a little too much. And every time I would hurt a woman, so I wouldn't need to deal with the outcome of that, I would just like bridge to another woman. Like I just kept doing it over and over and over again. I mean, and I'm talking whole family situations. Like I have long-term girlfriends, marriages. As the marriage is ending, I'm already in another relationship with another woman. I mean, I'm just bridging, bridging, bridging. And then I got to the point, like I said, my heart was broke. And man, I just don't want to be in the hurt business anymore. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to hurt anybody. And so I went on a journey of how did I get here? What in the world? Man, and I went all the way back to like 15 years old, dude, you know, to check and see, okay, I see what's happening here is that I'm running from accountability. I'm running from it. I don't want to sit there. I don't, you know, the tears, all of it. You know, I went overseas in the military and absolutely lost my mind. Like I just lost my mind. But it was supported culturally for me to lose my mind. It was seen as masculine, you know, to deal with more women. But what I was doing was, man, is at the time, and I was like ruining these people's lives. Like I was taking what they thought they saw in me and using it to my advantage. And so and then I got to the point where I finally was faithful to a woman. I was finally faithful to her. I said, you know what, I'm gonna build this family. I'm gonna be in it. And I love her. I protect her. I want to be with her. And then she decided that the best thing for her was to get rid of me. This is the first time in my life this ever happened. And and it was an affront to my ego, to just everything I believed was true about me. I didn't even think it was possible for a woman to get rid of me. And man, and it was starting life all over again from scratch, from cups, knives, forks, in my mid-40s, man. Like I never would have thought that would have been my reality. And so it was the journey into coming back. Coming back is where I discovered acceptance and accountability as a superpower. And look, it just is what it is. And I try to put words to it. And sometimes I'm clumsy with putting words to it, but I attempt to put words to it. And my mind wants to say, oh, but what about this? Oh, but she did that. Oh, but she did. But none of that's helpful. Like none of it. Even if it's true, right? You can even give it if it's true. Let's say she was all wrong. Dude, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. I'd still be in this space. So what's up? What's going on? So
I appreciate you sharing that, and that the so many good learnings in there. Like the accountability is like a strength that you take on because you're facing that risk of hurt for the first time. And whether or not the hurt happens, you're only able to be hurt in something real like that, where you actually go all in, you actually really invest in a relationship, put yourself in a position where you can be hurt, you are invulnerable, and that is like the strength. Like being able to do that makes you a man willing to face hard things, especially in a relationship. And then on the other side, like heartbreak is so powerful to just take everything away and just look at yourself. It's a massive motivator if you actually sit with the feelings, allow yourself to feel the hurt and rebuild in a way that is like just for you, without anger and ego.
It has been my greatest teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Historically, I'd be with another woman by now. Just historically. This has nothing to do with what I think my value is to women. I'm just saying historically, when I look over my life.
The pattern,
Yeah, the pattern, I would have been with another woman a year ago. Like, it'd be on and popping, man. And either she'd be living with me or I'd be living with her. Like it would be going down. But I put a stop to it, put a stop to all of it. And as you said, I didn't recognize it as heartbreak at first because that was foreign to me. But I said, oh, that must be what this is. I didn't know. Okay, I got it. It's like literally you're reading a book and all of the pages turn white, but it's like a thick book and it's all of these pages you thought you were going to read. It's no more words. And and you can't even, like, you got to start a whole new book.
Mm-hmm. And the story, I don't know about you, but I feel like this, because I can relate to this story a lot in my own life. The story you tell about yourself has to change. And there's also the realization that story, that narrative that you've kind of just been telling yourself, that I am this person, life is like this, is kind of like a crutch, or like it props you up for like, I'm like this. And like, I need to be like that. And then when something happens that doesn't fit that, it's like this huge Like
Who
what
am I?
the, yeah, what am
Yeah.
I?
What am I? If I'm not that story, what am I then? And
Yeah.
that's you could crash out in that moment.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I think men do crash out. I
Hmm.
think that is what happens. That's why you find so many men hurting people publicly and nobody can really figure out why. I don't know if you noticed that, but more times than none, they don't discover why these men did these things. People try to say it's politics and they look through their profiles and all of this stuff, but if you really pay attention, no true narrative is drawn a lot of times, man. You know,
Hmm.
and I think that some of what we're talking about has something to do with that.
Yeah.
It's like dude, the first conversation is with yourself. Like, what are you saying to yourself about what's happening in your life,
Hmm.
right? Do you even know that you might even make the mistake of thinking other people aren't dealing with this stuff too, and that you truly are alone, and that you might think that the world is responding to you differently than it does other people, which is also not true. That's just your narrative. That's your insecurities telling you that the world is not more interested in the man next door than it is in you. It's just that the man next door has a different relationship with that fact. You see? And so that's why I appreciate conversations like these, because we get to put a masculine face on this stuff.
Hmm.
It's like, give it a shot, bro. Like I drove rideshare for a long time, and one of the things I learned about driving rideshare is that, man, most of us are alike. We're more alike than anything.
Yeah.
We've all got somewhere we're trying to get to safe around people we love. And we also all have some master plan we hope works. I have found that in every single human I've ever talked to, is that everybody has some master plan that they're working towards, man. They have it. It's their life's mission. There's something, there's somethingness. And a lot of times as men, we get depressed because we don't think that there's a way to accomplish that thing, whatever it is, not realizing that it's the journey to accomplishing it is really what it's about. It's not the thing, because the thing is at the end, you know? And so, yeah, man. But the downside to accountability is when you don't come to the rescue of your dignity, like when you're just talking about the thing you're accountable for. Um, uh, I have a post on my account where I am giving props to my children's stepfather. And because I don't spend 30 seconds explaining that I'm in my children's life and I see them all of the time, because I don't take the time to qualify, what I do, there's an assumption by a lot of people that uh, there's a family I used to be the head of, and the family's over there, and I'm over here, and I'm watching that family, and there's now a man in that family. And I'm saying, bro, you're doing a good job over there. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm saying their mother got married again, and the guy is a great guy, man. And I was really being an asshole by not connecting with him sooner. But a part of the reason why I wasn't connected with him sooner is because I wasn't accepting the idea, that I broke up those kids' home, man. It's just what I did. I feel terrible about that. I don't think I ever won't feel terrible about that because they didn't deserve that. And truth be told, it could have been fixed. Like it could have been fixed, man. No, it wasn't. It wasn't perfect, but I found another situation. It looked more advantageous to me, and so I didn't want to deal with the things about that. I could have, and I guess because somebody broke up my home when I was a kid, I thought that that was an option on the table. You know, Dude, it's hard to sit in that. It's
Yeah.
really, really, really. I say it because I have, but I'm telling you, it was really, really difficult to
Yeah.
do that, man. And to apologize to my sons, about breaking their home up, man. I am so, and these guys are well adjusted. These are great guys. I wouldn't even say that they need to hear me say this, but I just wanted the moment to have existed that I did acknowledge. Man, I'm sorry I did that to y'all. You know, really apologize. My youngest son was like 2. But, you know, this is all he knows. But still, dude, I'm so sorry that you don't get to see me love your mom. You know, but luckily for me, do get to see a man love your mom. You see? So I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
No,
let me get out of the way of that.
that's huge. It's super powerful, I think. And part of what you're saying is like the accountability is feeling those painful, uncomfortable feelings and not just shoving them to the side. I don't want to feel these. Gonna move on to the next thing. It's no, like this was painful, this was hard, and I'm gonna sit with it, I'm gonna feel it and do something about it. It's like I have these conversations, I feel these feelings, and that's literally accountability 101. It's not running, it's facing and addressing. And like it's a big like addressing it in a way that's celebrating like it's not ignoring like it's not ignoring that this happened at all. It's like this happened, here's a situation, and now I'm going to celebrate the good in it. I'm still here, I'm still connected. And I'm really grateful that they're in this new family situation
Mhm.
that feels healthy. So, and there's a lot of cultural narratives saying you need to crash out, you need to be mad, you need to have your ego, you will be better, like or like regret, like go back in time and go fix it, like all these.
Dude,
That's what.
I can tell. So there is something in me that wants to add on. I want to tell you about how I was raised and like I want to come to my rescue from any negative thoughts anybody would have. Right. I want to, but I'm stopping myself. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't help. It's not helpful in any way, mostly to me, you know, dude, you broke up a home. Now they got now it's another like it is what it is. So what you do now is you live in that fact and you make decisions so that those things don't happen anymore. Like now you live in honor of that. You now when you should you find yourself married again, you'll build it on better ground. You'll do this again. You know, if you meet another woman and that woman has children, you'll take that a lot more serious. You live in honor of what you learned from those things. You know, man, I don't trust myself with the woman right now. I don't. Not because I can't have one, but because I'm not in the heartbreak business anymore. It's just not something I want to do. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have the capacity to deal with the heart of a woman right now. I'm barely holding myself up every day. You know, I can't. I don't want the responsibility. You know, of someone else being happy and you know all of that. It's just not. It's just not in me. But
Yeah.
historically, oh man, I would absolutely all because I wanted access to her body or her feminine energy. I would prioritize that above anything. But all of that stuff got me here, you know, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Mm.
so so the other side of accountability is like, all right, so what choices do you now make? Like what do you do now? Now that you felt it, now that you've gone through it, what are the choices? Well, they're micro, right? Like they're minuscule. I'll give you an example. Just being comfortable around attractive women. It might sound silly to some people, but it's not something I was. I always felt like if there was an attractive woman around me and she gave me any type of energy, then I would see if I could get access to her. You know, now I have learned how to simply take a breath and just be around attractive women and just appreciate their beauty, and it just is what it is, and you move on. Like that's it. I don't need access to her body. I don't need to be inside her to make this moment the best possible. You see? So it starts with those things, very, very small. Okay, cool. We got that out the way. All right. Maybe you should get your finances together. Maybe you should, small things, bro. And then at some point, when you have the access and you're in a good space, maybe then explore the idea of exchanging energy with another woman, but do it from a place of power, from a place of like stability, not a place of emptiness or hurt or like loneliness or something like that. So that's the other side of it.
Yeah. I mean, the pattern of filling an emptiness with things that feel good, whether it's pursuing a relationship that you don't think will go anywhere, or like not going on the run, like avoiding the things that are hard, or like blaming, pointing fingers at like this wrong thing or that wrong thing. It's the kind of easy path of things that feel better. It can totally be a like cyclical pattern. And it's when the buck stops and you gotta feel the hard feelings is a big moment of transformation of like, okay, I'm going to intentionally say no to these things that I know would make me feel better in the moment to pursue the longer, harder game.
And I think and it has to be said, if you don't have people close to you who hold you accountable in some kind of way, and here's what I mean by hold you accountable. I don't mean people that call you out on your BS, which is cool too. That's cool too. Here's what I mean. I have other positive men in my life that I don't want to disappoint. This is what I mean. They've seen my growth. They're right there. They're right next to me. They're having their own growth too. We're talking. We're having conversations like you and I are talking. Bro, the last thing I want you, and I mean you, literally you, to find out is that I'm back in that same situation. Right? It's healthy for me as a man to not want to disappoint my close friend. But who is my close friend? Is he the type of person, is he a man of standard? Is he someone who, it's like, who do you have around you? Is it one person? Really, all it takes is one person a lot of times too. Man, as men, this is how we are. When we were a little boy, we couldn't wait to get around Uncle Jeff because Uncle Jeff always says, I see that mustache coming in. Men always want to, men always want to, they always want other men to see them. I see you getting a little taller there. You in that gym, it's just something about that, man. And it's the same as an adult. We do it with like vehicles and you know what I mean? It's like, oh, bro, man, what's that? Oh, man, what kind of motor it got in it? It could be a man you don't even know, bro. If you're out at the mall or something and you see a guy standing in front of his car, you don't know this man from a blade of grass. And you say, man, is it a 350 in there? Man, that dude is going to talk to you in an elevated voice. All his guards are down. Oh man, no, it's you see what I'm saying? Like it's we got this thing, dude. And so you need another man in your life, or I'm gonna say for men, a man. Like you need a man or two or three in your life that are stand-up men that you don't want to disappoint. It really does work like a charm. It really, really does. Because I didn't say that one of the reasons I'm going to run is because later today, my brother is probably going to call me and say, did you get that run in? I don't want to lie. Like I don't want to say, oh, yeah, I did. And I didn't, because now I know I'm a liar. And that's going to be a problem, you see? So I got to say, yeah, man, you know me, of course. It was thundering raining the other day. I was out there running, bro, because I know that my people know I'm on it, so hopefully that helps somebody.
Totally. It's a group project. Accountability is easier and stronger when there's a group of people who know about what you're doing and they can help hold you accountable. And I think it's a health. The way you phrased it is like a healthy way of accountability where they're not like competing or comparing with you. It's just they want the best for you, and
Yep.
you tell them your goals, and they want to hear you hit the goals in a way that's like really supportive. As
Well,
like a really
you're a part of their lives,
hmm
right? One of the things happening in their life is they have a friend they don't want to disappoint. They got a friend that they know is elevating it. You
yeah
see what I'm saying? And so the reason why I started running marathons is because my brother, he knew that I ran every day before I worked out. But I would only run like, man, like 2, 3 miles. Like it wasn't anything crazy. And he said, man, you be out there running every day. You ever thought about running a marathon? Man, it was just a question. It was just, bro, I swear. But he's my younger brother. Follow me what I'm saying here. He's my younger brother. He's like, you ever thought about running a marathon? I said, hell no. I didn't even let him get it out all the way out. Man, hell no. Marathon. Why would I do anything like that? I was really uncomfortable with how easily I said that. I didn't like that I did that in front of my younger brother. See what I mean? I didn't like that I did because he looks up to me. And now he's watching me be weak in a way. I didn't like that. So every week I started adding like half a mile to my run just to see. I got up to about 8 miles. I said, man, I'm gonna run that marathon. He said, what you talking about? I said, remember you asked me. And it felt good for him to say, oh, for real? It felt really good for my younger brother to say that to me. And the day I ran my first marathon, I called him on FaceTime in the middle of the marathon, right? This is so funny because I'm realizing this in real time. I called him on FaceTime. I said, man, I'm out here. And it made him feel so proud, and it made him want to elevate. You see what I'm saying? How that works. That, man, that's how men are. That's how boys are. It's watch this, watch me, watch this. It's
yeah
something built into our DNA. It's something in there that makes us want to do it. And if you get some really positive, if you look at a Michael Jordan or LeBron James or anybody like a Messi, anybody, is scan the camera left and right, you won't have to go far before you find the men I'm talking about.
hmm
They might have roles and titles, but nah, they're playing that role I just talked about. You see what I'm saying?
yeah
Like LeBron got to stay in the gym because not just because he's LeBron, but because these people depend on knowing that he can do that.
yeah
See what I'm saying? And there's
yeah
probably people he looks up to as well, so on and so forth.
yeah. It's so cool that your brother opened expanded what you thought was possible, and like that's such a high praise because he only questioned that because he sees you in a way of like you could actually do that, which is bigger than you even thought you could,
Way bigger, bro. Bro,
which is so
you
cool.
nailed it. Exactly. That's what somebody that almost brings tears to my eyes. Like that is what people that want the best for you do. Like you need people around you that see you,
Yeah.
you know,
hmm
and challenge you to arrive at that place. I got a real estate license because I have an 85-year-old Jewish friend. I only describe it that way. It doesn't matter that he's Jewish, but I describe it because I need you to see how unlikely this relationship is, right? He's one of my best friends. It has been for the last 20 years. And he said, Mark, my son-in-law is in a business. I don't really know what he does, but I think you could do that business. I think you should go sit down and talk to him. Dude, I got a real estate license because he thought I could be good in that business. I stopped my life. You understand what I'm saying? I stopped my life because my friend thought I could do that. I could be that. I went and shadowed his son-in-law, figured out what he did every day, asked all of the questions, signed up for the class, paid the money. Man, I didn't even have the money for this stuff. I just did it because my friend thought he saw me that way. And I just wanted him to know. And at the end of the day, I just wanted him to know that I could do it because he thought I could do it. And on to the next thing. You see, you know what I mean? It's just another example of what I mean.
Yeah.
But you absolutely need people in your life that see you in, you know, in a different situation.
Yeah. And
These are
without them, you can get stuck. If you're only alone in your brain, you're kind of limiting how you see yourself, and having a bunch of people around you who see you differently, see different paths for you is the
dude,
best way to keep exploring, keep changing.
1,000,000%, man. 1,000,000%. It has been a tough road, but every great man in history, I'm not even saying I'm a great man. I'm saying every great man in history is described by what? How he overcame that tough road, right? Literally every, like, you can't name what we call a great man in history without describing how he became that great man. You don't just say, oh, he was a great man. No, 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 no. You got to know what he overcame.
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to facing the uncomfortable, hard feelings, facing hardship. Like that is what makes you a better person when you actually have to look at yourself in a hard place and keep moving forwards.
Man, 1,000,000%. That friend, the 85-year-old friend, he does these things where he invites a lot of men from the community to have lunch, like
Love
once a
that.
month, and that's happening today. And
Oh, nice.
he likes to connect people. You know, he's at a time in his life, this is what I'm guessing, you know, where he values that, right? Like he
Yeah.
knows what that is. Like that's his special gift, is he brings people together. Like the most unlikely people too. You know, these tables look like one of those international meetings of heads of states. Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody's got on a uniform, but they look different, like super different from each other. You know what I mean? And so he's having one of those today, and I always look forward to those. Um,
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's an
anyhow,
amazing community
yeah,
building move.
dude, man, I've been blessed, man. Like really have been blessed with some amazing, incredible uh, people in my life, and these are also people that I don't want to disappoint. You know, uh, these are the people that when I was in the trash, man, they pulled me out of the trash. You know, they nursed me back to health. They reminded me that I had it in me to be okay, even when I didn't see it. You know, one of my good friends, I was in a really tough spot financially, and he knew it. And he just called me one day, was like, man, what's going on? I said, oh, man, I'm just, you know, I guess I was down. He just sent me some money. He said, man, go get you some dinner, man. Just, I don't know, just eat something. Man, I can't even, like, any man that's been in that spot understands how special that is.
Yeah, it's bigger
You
than
know what I
dinner.
mean? Dude,
It's bigger than that.
I'm sitting there eating some tacos, man, crying my eyes out. Like, man, dude, it's people that believe I can get better. I should probably get better. You know,
That's awesome. Yeah.
you
That's an
know,
amazing friend.
yeah, man. And I got a couple of those. That's what I'm telling you. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
Like I
gold.
have I have a couple of those, and and I just got this tribe, man. It's small, but I got a tribe of people that believe I can go where it is I'm trying to go. And they check in on me, and they make sure I'm okay. They watched me in my last situation. They were watching, you know, and they've all told me the same things about it, you know. But I don't lean into that. I just appreciate that they are
Yeah,
here with me.
that's
I really
gold.
do.
Well, I'm feeling super motivated. I for to like attack the day with the things
Mm.
I got to do, and there's always gonna be stuff I don't want to do. Always gonna be stuff that's annoying or hard or difficult. But
Oh,
I really appreciate like sharing this together and feeling super motivated. And I know we're coming up on time, so I just want to like open up the floor. Like if there's something else we haven't covered, or like a message you want to share, or like where people can find you, like anything else in your mind you want to make sure is out there?
So I have a brand. It's called Normalized Growth. I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I'm an artist as well. MRK SX. If you look up those letters on anything, you can find me in my music. And a lot of what I'm talking about is in the music. And I represent a brand. It's called Normalized Growth. And the definition of normalized growth is that you must use the wisdom that your experience is paid for. You have to do it, even if it hurts. You have to do it. When you learn the lessons, you have to live the learned part of the lessons. And this is hard, man. Like this stuff is shoulders of every man, that's going through something, and say, this too is a part of it, bro. Like this is, this thing you feeling right now, this angst, this all of it. It may be the most normal thing between living and dying. Like this thing, this feeling you have of not of that what now feeling, that thing that everybody expects you to, like. I don't know if you have a family, you know what I mean? But I called my dad one day crying my eyes out. He's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Man, I am just tired of always having to have the right answers. I am so tired, dude. I don't have the right answers. I don't have them, but everybody thinks I have them. Everybody thinks I'm supposed to have them. It is like, it's unfair, and I want to tell any man watching this that all of those feelings and emotions are absolutely normal, bro. And I encourage you to go through those feelings. Notice what I said, go through them. It's okay. Pull over, go in the bathroom, cry, scream, do whatever you got to do. When you get finished, man, get back to it, bro. That's all I want to say, man. It's cool, man. Go through it.
Yep. I love that.
All right?
Yeah.
All right,
It's
cool.
through, it's not around. It's feeling
Yes.
them, and then get back to
Feel
business.
it, bro. Call up a good friend, scream, whatever you got to do, man. When you get done, bro, man, dry your eyes, man. Put your shoulders up. Understand that you represent thousands of years of evolution to this moment, and that weaker men have done it too. And get back to work, bro, because this world needs a positive change. It's going to take you to be a part of that change.
100%. Well, I so appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate the conversation. Really glad we got to connect.
Sure.
Let's stay in touch. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, there's so many good things we covered: accountability and family, relationships, career, fitness. So we really covered a ton, and I really appreciate you being open and sharing with me. And it's great to meet you and hang out. So yeah, really grateful.